Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as all the breaking news. Russian companies are using Bitcoin to evade Western sanctions, according to their finance minister, who recently shared that in an interview. Also, Max Kaiser says Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, and El Salvador, plus the other sovereigns, are about to take 200 to 300 trillion of the US dollar-based assets and transfer that into Bitcoin, sending the price action at 2.2 million per coin. We'll also be discussing breaking news. KURL Technology launches a Bitcoin treasury with a $21 million purchase, as well as Hong Kong stablecoins bill advances to the Legislative Council, as well as Japan's Prime Minister says not ready to talk about the Bitcoin National Reserve. I'll be sharing with you this report, as well as Binance Bitcoin reserves hit January levels months before Bitcoin jumped by 90%, as well as breaking news. 6 Bitcoin funds are set to debut in Israel following regulatory approval next week. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, family. What to do? How is everyone's Christmas? This is the day after Christmas. Good to have everyone here with us. Shout out everyone in that live chat. I am streaming live on X, Rumble, and YouTube, and I will be streaming over the course of the next couple of hours. New to the show, says Gizmo. Well, I'm glad you discovered it. A longtime Bitcoin hodler. Love the news format. Respect. And thank you for joining us. Shout out Erico, Mr. Corvette. Hey, JV fam. Ready to get the show started? That's right. Welcome to the CNA Bitcoin Cafe. Get your hot cup of Joe. I'm going to be delivering the news. Bitcoin pulling back after tapping 99,000 just the other day. JV, you fell asleep? Adam, what do you mean? You're sleeping right now? I just moved $22 of my asset to the Bitcoin. Winning. Is it already that time of the day? It is, Eric. I mean, time does sure fly. Merry Christmas, Joe Mega. To you as well. Thanks for your daily updates. Helps keep me focused. You're very welcome. Appreciate you being a part of the stream. Shout out Janet Yellen. Miss Yellen and Gensler are always lurking back there. Fix the money, fix the world. You're telling me. Shout out Nick. Good to have you on the live stream. Awesome, Eric. You're watching on the 75-inch TV. You got to dig it. Shout out Shandy, the one and only. Greatly appreciate you being here. Stacking my biddy every single day. The gift that keeps on giving. Shout out Douglas Lindsay. Always a pleasure. And I'm going to go ahead and pin the stream at the top of the profile on X. If you guys can repost, it's always appreciated. All comments and quotes get reposted and shouted out in real time during the live stream, and you're going to notice it already pinned at the top of the profile. So thank you guys in advance for helping me blow up the stream. Shout out to Marky Mark. He says, there is no second best. Amen, brother. Just reposted you. Shout out Black Wolf Alliance, Mario, Eric the Red. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you on all the reposts, Crypto Dingo, Game Trend, and the rest of the fam. You guys are the bomb diggity. Yeah, man. 96. Who would have thought Bitcoin would have been something that you would have bought? And here we are. And welcome.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life. But Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
It was the day after Christmas. Welcome, everyone, to the live stream. Good to have everybody here with you, or together. Let me know how your Christmas holiday was. You guys are probably still celebrating for the rest of the week, I would imagine. School's off this week, so fantastic times. Happy days, family. Chandy says, JV just got on and saw the messages. I am late to life. It's all good. Even us humans need to sleep every now and then to keep us honest. Otherwise, we'd be the AI. Pamp the likes for the #1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Bitcoin pod.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
And shout out the one and only Sergio. For those that don't know, we get these exclusive caps directly from him. His website's bitcoincaps.net. If you like the camouflage El Salvador Bukele hat that I'm typically rocking, or this one, or any of the other Bukele or El Salvador hats, he's the go-to guy. He actually makes them for Bukele himself and the high priest, Max. Shout out Shandy. Appreciate the repost as well. You and Sergio are the bomb diggity. She wrote Bitcoin lovers. Crypto News Yes is live with a daily biddy in the news, entertainment. Join the CNA fam. Always appreciated. You guys are amazing. Keep the comments flowing. For those that don't know, this is a live and interactive stream, and I'm going to be streaming over the course of the next couple of hours. Yeah, we ain't even seen the real pump yet, Mr. Corvette. You already know. But anyways, fam, if you're new to the channel, important to smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe. Half of you watching are not subscribed. You know what to do. Then also hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. Today is pod episode 1860. I'm your host, JV. It's December 26, 2024. What do we got? Another 5 days left before we put a bow on the entire year. It's crazy to say that, but 2025 is literally right around the corner. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You can see Coin 360 on your screen. Bitcoin just above 96,000 at the time of the live stream, down 3.4% on the day. XRP is down 6%, ETH down 4%, Solana down 5%, just correction across the board. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at 3.32 trillion. Bitcoin market cap just shy of 1.9 trillion. We got roughly 126 billion worth of volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance currently back on the rise, 57.2%. Ether dominance back on the decline, all the way down to 12.1%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours, we got Bidget leading the pack, up a whopping 30%, followed by Sam Bankman-Fried's FTT coin, the native token of the FTX exchange, up 17% on the day, followed by OKB and Pudgy Penguins. The majority of the alts, however, as you can see, are correcting and in the red. Which alt, if any, are you bullish on for the bull? Holla. And checking out Crypto Bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the day, and survey says literally everything besides BGB and FTT correcting and in the red. But zooming out on the monthly to get a broader perspective, now we're talking, yeah, it's roughly split even, 50% in the green, 50% in the red. And checking it out, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index today, we rose to a 79 in extreme greed. Yesterday, 73. Last week, a 75. And last month, a 79 in extreme greed. And checking out time chain calendar, we have 173,526 blocks until the next halving of 2028. We're currently on block number 876,474. And you currently exchange one U.S. monopoly dollar for 1,043 sats. So stack them sats and let's go. And welcome everybody. Is Gensler lurking in the comments again? Man, we got Gensler and Yellen. Go figure. The dynamic duo. Shout out the Oracle. Always an honor to have you here. Special shout out to all of our moderators. Always holding it down. You're going to recognize mods because their names are in the blue. We have quite a few, and they're all phenomenal. Make sure you guys are following the mods over on X. I used to be desktop support and then graduated to networking, says Greg. It is a gaming platform. If so, you want to consider a mid-level, is that NVIDIA graphics card? It may require a software load. Yeah, I noticed when doing my settings on my iMac, like I have an NVIDIA card in my, I guess, in my computer. So hence, that's what NVIDIA does. One of the biggest stocks out there. They produce chips for computers. My daughter and I were talking about the differences in coding from the 80s. Oh, wow. Till today. Interesting convo. Amari says hi. Shout out to Amari. This Gong Strike is for you, family. Appreciate you supporting the stream. And yeah, shout out to all the families out there. Welcome, everybody. I have 2.5% Bitcoin. Is that okay? What does that mean? You have 2.5% of the circulating supply? Are you Michael Saylor? Or do you mean to say you have 2.5 Bitcoins? You got to explain what you mean there, Darren. Is NVIDIA RTX a 2040 decent laptop card? I honestly don't know. A good question for Google or Grok, wouldn't you say? And thank you guys for all the reposts. I'm checking the X feed right now in real time. Sergio, you the man. Barry Treasure, JC Ice. Thank you so much. You're so awesome. Just reposted you. Violet, my bro, JV is on number one crypto news on the web. Shout out Violetta. V in the building. V for victory. We connected at the bottom like the letter V. Those are some bars from Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace, Nip. And thank you. Appreciate the proof of work there. You guys are awesome. Shout out Diana Jones. Appreciate it. Just reposted you. Looks like we already got over 400 people on the stream. Let's blow this mofo up. Sorry, you have a 0.025. Well, Robert Kiyosaki tweeted today, and let me paraphrase. He said something like, buy a Satoshi and you'll be rich. I reposted it like giggling. I'm just like, I don't understand the philosophy there, but get in the game maybe is what he's hinting at. Hello from Long Island. Well, I'm repping New York today, family. Shout out Long Island and shout out Crypto Surge for holding it down as always. Gary Gensler reminds me of the Smithers. He is Smithers from The Simpsons. Then who is, if that's Smithers, who is Mr. Burns? I was thinking Gary reminded me of Mr. Burns, but that's just me. Let me know who you think. But yeah, there's no such thing as is enough Bitcoin going to make me rich? Number one, define rich. To some people, $10,000 is rich. To others, it's $100,000. To others, it's 1 million. To others, it's 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion. How much is rich to Michael Saylor? Probably a trillionaire. You know what I mean? So you got to define what you're talking about here. We all have different perceptions and perspectives, no? Lost all my Bitcoin in a vision trip. It happens to the best of them. Jen sent me the link to the last Kaiser on Alex Pod. I love seeing Max Kaiser in the camo. It's a great look. Is he now rocking the Bukele camo hat? Very good interview in Pod. Well, shout out to Max Kaiser. I have some updates from him today. I'm going to be sharing with you guys here shortly. Release the hounds. That's right, the Dobermans. Classic. But anyways, fam, keep the comments flowing. We appreciate y'all. About to kick it off. And we did our market watch. Next up, astrology for the broskies, a.k.a. Bitcoin TA.
No plan B needed, I have the biddy.
Hey now. So yeah, here's the next headline, family. It reads, Bitcoin bulls are back. The Bitcoin derivatives data hints at a rally to 105. That's right. Bitcoin gained 6.5% since the 92 low, December 23rd, but it failed to surpass 98. That's some bullshit. I saw it surpass 99 the other day, but I digress. 108.3 is the current all-time high, which we achieved maybe last week. Bitcoin derivatives maintained a neutral bullish stance, suggesting that the sharp price volatility did not significantly impact the market sentiment. This positions support with the likelihood of a sustainable rally above 105. The Bitcoin futures monthly contracts. That's right. We almost hit 100,000 on our pump watch yesterday. We were so close, only a few $100s away. So it was a nice little Christmas pump. It's really started on Christmas Eve and it maintained throughout Christmas. And then today we're correcting. But anyways, typically premiums ranging from 5 to 10% are considered neutral as sellers factor in the extended settlement period when setting the prices. The Bitcoin put options are trading at a 2% discount compared to the buy options, consistent with the trend over the past 2 weeks, and the whales and market makers are anticipating a potential correction. This indicator usually exceeds 6%, reflecting the premium on the put options. The recent recovery in traditional financial markets also contributed to the Bitcoin rise above 98,000 as the S&P index erased most the monthly losses on December 24th. That was Christmas Eve. And additionally, the U.S. 10-year Treasury yield climbed 4.5% from 4.25% 2 weeks earlier, suggesting investors are demanding the higher returns to hold the government debt. Bitcoin's upside remains constrained as investors worry about the risk of global economic stagnation. It is challenging to predict the full impact on the stock markets and real estate assets under such conditions, but currently Bitcoin's correlation with the S&P is relatively high at 64%. Now, the Bitcoin long to short margin ratio over at OKX is currently at a 25x in favor of the long positions. Let's go Bulls. Historically, excessive confidence drives this ratio above 40x, while levels below 5x favor the longs are generally considered bearish. Both Bitcoin derivatives and margin markets indicate bullish momentum despite record outflows from BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust on December 24th. And moreover, the resilience shown during the retest of 92.5 on December 23rd, reinforcing optimism about Bitcoin's potential to reach 105 and beyond. And again, 108 is the current price discovery. And before I pull up some of the live charts, here's some other breaking news and updates from Max Kaiser. This just in, Russian companies are using Bitcoin to evade Western sanctions, according to the finance minister, who just revealed in an interview. Now, Max wrote, Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, El Salvador, plus the other sovereigns are about to take $200 to $300 trillion of US dollar-based assets and transfer that into Bitcoin, sending the price parabolic to 2.2 million per coin. Can you say 2.2 million in play? Let's send it. And in other updates, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard says there's value in the U.S. having its own strategic Bitcoin reserve. Max responded, as I outlined in 2018, the global hash war will replace any notions of banning Bitcoin. He also recently shared a rude awakening for Trump. He can't control Bitcoin. When the U.S. buys 1 million Bitcoin, it will benefit countries with the least debt and the cheapest energy, primarily Russia. It'll hurt countries with the most debt, like the United States and China. Imagine if Russia did a good old sailor put. And he also shared Trump can't wave a magic Bitcoin wand and make the debt go away by buying the million Bitcoin. And I suspect he'll get sold on a package of DeFi shitcoin garbage and relive the failed Project Warp Speed disaster, but with the Treasury. And this was off the back of the news. Trump is being handed a ticking time bomb. Janet Yellen has left his administration with $7 trillion of debt to refinance in 2025 alone. And one more update: to stay alive, the U.S. will take a massive hit on its U.S. dollar reserves. Fiat money debt imperialists die under the global Bitcoin standard. Russia, because it has virtually no debt, excessive cheap energy, and it's the world's biggest commodity producer, is best position. So there you have it. Those are the updates from the high priest. And now let's pull up some of the live charts and check out where the price action is likely to take us next. Shout out Orlando Kelly. I greatly appreciate you supporting the stream by becoming a member of the HODL Gang here on the YouTube channel. Respect. And shout out to all the members holding it down. Much appreciate you. But here you're looking at the 1 hour chart. You do see a lot of targets on your screen. The most bullish target on the 1 hour right now is 1076. And zooming out from the 1 hour, here's the 4 hour, and we're looking at Coinbase via TradingView right now, if you're wondering which exchange. As every exchange, the prices are slightly different. We also have the 1076 target on the 4 hour chart. And we also have the rising wedgie, the only type of wedgie I enjoy. And zooming out for the 1 day chart, also the rising wedgie. So as you can see, bullish overall. We did get that big correction, earlier in the week, but nonetheless, still very bullish momentum in the markets, considering where we just were 30, 60, 90 days ago, making massive strides. Zooming out on the weekly, you can see we finally had a corrective weekly candle close on Sunday, but prior to that, we had like 6 green consecutive weekly closes since the Trump victory as far as the election day. I believe that was November 5th. And we still have the sexy cup and handle target sitting pretty at 124 Gs. And taking a quick look at the monthly, massive green candle close for Moonvember, and we got 5 days left to finish off the month of December and put a bow for the year heading into 2025. Where do you think that monthly close and yearly close shall be? Holla at your boy. And again, welcome everyone just joining us on the live stream. What's cracking? Mr. Corvette, what it do? I don't want the Bitcoin to be controlled by any governments, not the U.S. or any. Intem says it's maximizing profits. It's going to milk the all-in Jeffries that will be deploying the savings, spare the cash. Oracle says I might move some of my kids' Bitcoin to a retirement wallet. After all, I am the one that saved it. Amen. I do think it is more complicated for the administration to make it happen. The National Reserve, so leader never really said 2.2 million. Who's leader? I don't know who you're referring to there. The 2.2 million prediction comes from Max Kaiser, by the way. I've been calling for 1.1 million for the cycle peak in 2025. Max doubled it. He's like, JV, take 1.1 million and plus it by another 1.1 million. And that's what we're looking at. But you let me know your thoughts. And of course, I'm always based with the base case. 420 in play for the broskies. Send it. And welcome everyone just joining the live stream. Keep the comments flowing before we dive into our next story of the day. Let's get it.
Bitcoin is my plan A, B, C, D, and E. There is no other plan for me. I am with the bit rip through the dips, bitty Bitcoin. It's my plan A, B, C, D, and E. I'm team BTC. Through God, Satoshi educated me. Through God, Satoshi.
And a little proof of work, I just followed you back, Johnny Laser. I appreciate you supporting the stream with the repost. He wrote, most consistent Bitcoiner, been watching since 2021, always bringing the alpha. Respect, family. Greatly appreciate the support. Respect. My number one channel, period. My number channel. Well, thank you, Mr. Corvette. Appreciate you too as well, family. Thanks for all the love. You guys are the bomb diggity.
She freed me. Through God, Satoshi changed me. Plan A, B, C, D, and E. Bitcoin's the only financial plan for me. Angels in the orange. Angels in the orange.
All right, we have AV Porit calling for 225 G's, baby. People aren't hacking their way into anyone's system brute force style. If that person uses a rotating VPN created by the hackers to hide their identity, hackers get in by people clicking on stuff. Yeah, and avoid Windows by all means necessary. It's like the easiest thing to hack, from my understanding. Get yourself a Apple computer. It's going to be way more difficult to be hacked. You feel me? I don't believe that any government can control the bidding. What I think they're going to try is to manipulate it. They already do that, so it's not going to be much different, says the Oracle. Welcome data. What it do? Yeah, you don't want to use public Wi-Fi, that's for sure. That's not a good look. Haha, yes, you should. I only allocate one per kid. I don't want them spoiled. Mostly when it all go to the millions. And shout out to the Nipinator just walking in. You know what I mean? Fashionably late, that Nip. As the new chairman, he gets to make up his own rules. He's like, yo, I come and go as I please, JV. So shout out to the Nipinator. Always holding it down. You feel me? Respect to the Nip. Hey, JV, I am at home watching the greatest show on the tube. Love you, brother. Right back at you. DNA Noonan, appreciate you, brother. Let's keep the comments a-coming. I appreciate it. But we're going to move on to our next story of the day. Oh, good question from Violetta. So the main chat is on the tube. So let me respond. YouTube. For those that don't know, as we have 800 people plus watching, but it's a tri-stream. So we're on X, Rumble, and YouTube. But the chat that is interactive in the video is coming from the YouTube stream. It's the YouTube chat. So that's why I encourage everyone to visit the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed. The direct link is cryptonewsalerts.net. And next indicator from the Nipinator, sending another message to Gary Gensler, reminding Gary he has unclean hands. Precisely what he has. Thank you, Nip. You got to hold Gary accountable, especially considering he's watching the stream today with Janet Yellen. You feel me? So thank you for the question, Violetta. That's actually a good question. The comments is coming from the tube, as it's a tri-stream. But anyways, let's move on to our next story of the day. This is actually one of the big stories. Headline is KULR Technology launches a Bitcoin treasury with a $21 million purchase. You know what that means? That's a blackjack, baby. An ace and a 10. Got to dig it. New York Stock Exchange listed KULR Tech Group has announced the acquisition of 217 of the biddies for approximately 21 milli, marking the launch of the Bitcoin Treasury. And according to the December 26th announcement today, the purchase was made at an average price of 96,500 per Bitcoin. KURL said the acquisition is the first of several planned purchases as a part of the broader strategy to allocate up to 90% of its surplus cash into Bitcoin. Why so bearish? You got to go 99.9% if you're all in, just saying. The company selected Coinbase Prime to provide the custody and self-custodial wallet service for its Bitcoin. And I'm curious, how many of you use Coinbase Prime? It's a custodian service and also for business accounts and such. Let me know. I'm curious. In the comments, KURL CEO Michael Moe said MicroStrategy's Bitcoin approach inspired the move. Following the Sailor put, He says he, Mikey Saylor, calls Bitcoin digital energy, which really resonated with our mission because we're an energy management company for batteries, and space applications are our core. Very interesting. KURL conducted a survey to gauge shareholder support for the strategy, and it was very positive. Quoting them here, we received an overwhelming yes. Here we are buying our first block of Bitcoin entering into the future of money. We believe that Bitcoin is the future of money. Amen. KULR is among several companies that unveiled their Bitcoin treasury strategies this month of December, following Bitcoin's recent milestones, surpassing the 100,000 mark. December 23rd, we had Canadian firm Matador Tech, which I shared on the other stream the other day, disclosed the addition of Bitcoin to the balance sheet as part of the long-term preservation capital strategy. The company's board approved the initial purchase of $4.5 million worth of the Bitty with plans for further acquisitions. Another firm recently added digital assets to the treasury. That's biopharmaceutical company Quantum Biopharma. They announced the purchase of $1 million of Bitcoin. And Japanese investment firm Metaplanet also made its largest ever Bitcoin acquisition over the past few days. You start to notice the trend. They just bought 620 Bitcoin. This Bitcoin treasury strategy was pioneered, of course, by MicroStrategy, the first publicly traded company to put the Bitty on the balance sheet back in 2020. MicroStrategy now holds 444,000 plus Bitcoin in its treasury, and it's seeking shareholder approval to expand their purchases and following through with the 21-21 plan. That's a blackjack times 2, baby. MicroStrategy's goal is to purchase an additional 42 billion worth of the Bitty in the coming years. That's crazy. We envision that the future of a dynamic corporation is based on 3 pillars: superintelligence through AI, automated workforce through robotics, and future of money through BTC, said the KULR CEO. I believe the whole industry is still at the very early stage of figuring out how to tie all of them together. And there you go, crypto bros. There's the latest as the adoption and game theory continues playing out around the world. Mo in the house. Shout out Mo Ken. Welcome to the live stream, brother. I'm the same way, says Mr. Corvette. Lost my parents really young. Sorry to hear that. And shout out Nippinator holding it down. I think he's channeling Satoshi. Be on the lookout for another Nippinator indicator incoming any moment.
Yes, I said angels in the orange. I see angels in the cold storage. It's all in the orange. Sunrise, sunset, hope alive. Bitcoin isn't a bet you have been.
And again, fam, welcome to the stream. We have 945 people watching live. We're on X, we're on Rumble and YouTube. There's a try stream. Getting so sick of the bears, keeping the Bitty under 100 G's. We have to fly to keep it up, says Bill Graper. Agreed, I'm not helping them now that they're adults. Most of my kids are doing good except for my son that got his inheritance early and is out the will. I can't save them all. Sometimes they got to live with their own decisions. It's a part of being a grown-up. Shout out Melbourne, Australia, and all the Aussies holding it down. Good to have you watching the live stream, Nick. Respect. Take home impressions from this stream. Wow. Thank you, Violetta. Let's see what those impressions are in the chat. Thanks for that, bro, JV. I appreciate you. Anytime someone tells me XRP is mooning, I politely remind them XRP was 50 cents when Bitcoin was 3,500. The Oracle says they don't know what they have, and they don't until I am gone. It comes from me growing up poorer than dirt and raising them as a single mom. I wanted to spoil them and couldn't. Higher lows and higher highs. That's what I see. Bitcoin HODL gang. It's about to get real in here. Same way. Well, appreciate you sharing and honored to have you a part of the stream, Violetta. I'm going to repost your posts so we can continue hacking this algorithm, getting more eyeballs on the stream. Just reposted you, and a reminder for those joining us, anyone who comments or quotes the live stream, they get shouted out and reposted in the flesh here, as we now have 1,000 people on. So let's continue with the news, family. Welcome everyone joining.
Told never forget, this is your chance to change the tides and make your own sunlight. Oranges grow in the glow of a new sunrise.
Let's go. All right, here's the latest from Hong Kong. Shout out to my Hong Kong Bitcoin dons. Hong Kong stablecoins bill advances the Legislative Council. And I'm curious, how many of you have ever been to the Hong Kong? I've been there on my visa run when I was living in China. I spent a few days out there. It's actually a pretty cool location. They speak Cantonese. In the mainland, it's only Mandarin. And I respect the Cantonese because I studied traditional Kung Fu. And my Kung Fu teacher and grandmaster used Cantonese as well. So it felt like home for me. And it kind of reminded me of like New York City on steroids. It's actually a pretty cool place to visit, Hong Kong, by the way. And the dumplings were the best dumplings I've ever had in my life. So I got to recommend it. But anyways, Hong Kong's proposed stablecoins bill has entered the Legislative Council, moving the region closer to forming a comprehensive regulatory regime for the stablecoins. December 6th, the Hong Kong government published the bill in the Special Administrative Region Gazette, moving it closer to becoming law. December 18th, the bill was forwarded to the Legislative Council of Hong Kong for the first reading, as outlined right here. Before the bill is signed into law, it must first go through 3 readings, which comprise of a series of debates, examinations, and potential amendments. When the bill passes the 3rd reading, it'll be forwarded to the region's chief executive, who can finally sign that mofo into law. Now, according to the law firm King & Wood Mallesons, the stablecoins bill has 3 key components. They include stablecoin issuer licensing and requirements, specified stablecoin offering, and marketing restrictions with the broader consumer protections. If the bill is signed into law, issuers of the stablecoins in Hong Kong must obtain a license from the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the region's central bank. Issuers must comply with comprehensive requirements to obtain a license. The regulator would evaluate the issuer and its controllers, resources, stablecoins, reserve assets, and the mechanism stabilizing its value. Only regulated entities and platforms will be allowed to offer stablecoins in Hong Kong or to market them to the public. The bill provides protections for consumers that affect the various market participants, including issuers and distributors. And if the bill is enacted, Hong Kong may witness a shift in stablecoin use similar to that in Europe when the markets and the crypto asset regulations came into force. December 18th, research firm Kaiser and Netherlands-based crypto exchange Bitvavo reported the introduction of MiCA significantly shifting to the stablecoin landscape in the region. And while issuers like Tether discontinued its Europe-backed stablecoin, compliant issuers have thrived. By November, MiCA compliant stables captured most of the market, with Circle, Societe Generale, and Banking Circle stablecoins holding 91% of the market share, and that was by late 2024. So there you go. Yo. And again, welcome everyone just joining us here. I'm going to read the comments. Subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin music channel. That's right. The #1 Bitcoin music in the world. You find that at Chandy 10 Music. I finally updated the link from Streamlabs. So there's no more dash in there, Chandy. Just Chandy 10 Music. If you guys aren't subscribed, you know what to do. Aloha, Steve. And good to have you here. Barack Monfils Evangelista. Always an honor. The Oracle says, I had siblings, but I was raised as an only. My mother got custody and gave me to my grandparents. My mother never had any others after me. Right on. Gotta respect and love the grandparents. I knew siblings are a good thing, but life had its own plans. And now I am the only child, says Shandy. An only child for a child. We adopted and the things worked out by the way of God. Amen. Shout out Bubble Bath. Only cause I used to shag lots of German and Dutch girls on the holidays in Australia. Adam. Jeez Louise. Sweet. I am dashless. Dashless, eh? The TV show Full House was correct. There are many different types of families, and no one else has a Joey. Are we talking about baby kangaroos or Joey, that comedian from the show here? So where does the USDT get transferred to? It has to go somewhere. Do you have an answer for that? I don't know. You tell me, brother. And again, welcome everyone. What's poppin'?
Live Orange, get your vitamin C on, boost your finance.
How was everyone's Christmas? Let me know in the comments. I am being on my own since 18. Wow. Sorry to hear about the death of your loved one there. We have lots of brothers and sisters here in the CNA fam. Amen. Welcome to the Bitcoin Cafe. We call it the CNA Bitcoin Cafe. I bought 500,000 sats this morning, and then the price dropped. Every time I buy, the price drops. You just got to hold a little longer. It's all good, Barack. Well done on accumulating the sats. That's the bigger picture. Ignore the fiat equivalent. and just keep stacking sats and you're a winner for life. Craw, I am at the point I don't even want to tell people about crypto. So much hate. Been trying to orange peel people since the biddy was 800, yet maybe 3 out of 100 bought any. Yeah. You realize it's not your job to convince people to do anything. Just keep stacking the sats and lead by example. You're doing a fantastic job, brother. Joey Gladstone. Was that the comedian's name that played Joey? Or was that his name in the show? I don't remember. Joeys are always usually alpha. Bubble about to burst. Whole fast pirate. Walk the plank. Christmas was nice. Good to hear, Serge. It was cool. We got to do a nice Christmas special stream, and we did a nice pump watch. So glad we got to experience that together. It was pretty lit. I've been buying the dips since the halving. I'm currently down about 3.5. We'll keep buying the dips and hodl, matey. Let's get it. But anyways, let's move on to our next story of the day. We discussed the latest from Hong Kong. Now here's an update from the Japanese Prime Minister. That's right. According to this latest report, Japan's prime minister said the government lacks enough info about the U.S. and other country plans for a Bitcoin strategic reserve to determine whether Japan should implement one. According to the December 26th report today from the local media outlet CoinPost, Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, I wonder if he's a sheep hodler, said he doesn't have enough understanding of the movements by countries like the U.S. and others regarding adopting Bitcoin reserves. Well, you need to go hang out with Bukele. Come join us in Bitcoin country in a couple of weeks. It is difficult for the government to express its views, he said. That's interesting. At least he's honest. The response came after a question from Satoshi Hamada, a member of the House of Counselors. There's a Satoshi in Japan. Any relation to Nakamoto? Interesting. On Japan's movement of introducing Bitcoin reserves that the U.S. and other countries are proceeding with, Satoshi said, I think Japan should follow the example of the U.S. and consider turning some of its foreign exchange reserves into crypto assets, such as Bitcoin. I couldn't agree more with Satoshi. And here you have it. Satoshi lives. We finally identified the guy. Whether that's Nakamoto is a whole new question, but apparently there's quite a few Satoshis out there. Ishiba said the crypto assets do not fall under the foreign exchange category. Jack Mallers, founder and CEO of Strike, said Trump will likely issue the executive order on his first day, Jan 20th, as president to designate Bitcoin as a U.S. reserve asset. And more recently, Congressman Eros proposed a bill in Brazil to establish the sovereign federal Bitcoin reserve. You like those R's rolling off the tongue? I've been practicing. The bill was introduced November 25th and seeks the creation of a sovereign strategic Bitcoin reserve known as the RESBIT. And on September 8th, Ripple CEO Garlinghouse said it anticipates a strong demand for the Japanese yen stablecoin. Quoting Garlinghouse here, people will want to hold the yen stables, and I think that is only a matter of time. Now, Garlinghouse said that while he finds Japan to be a conservative market in some ways, he also sees it as really healthy in other respects. He said that compared to the other countries, Japan has leaned in on offering regulatory clarity and legislation on the stables and cryptos. And there you have it, yo. So there you have it coming directly from Japan. Let me tell you something. Konnichiwa. Broskies. Well, the yen was crushed by the DYX or the DXY, which is the US dollar thing. They purchased Bitcoin off their set for the US Treasury holdings. They'd be fine. Well, we got to listen to Satoshi, regardless if it's Nakamoto or these Japanese men. They know what's good. Good R rolls, JB. Thank you, Oracle. Been practicing. Great day to sell the fiat. Amen. Always a fantastical time to sell the fiat there, Knoxville. Get rid of the fiat monopoly money before the tulip mania occurs and put it into the biddy. You get over 1,000 sats per dollar. That's a blackjack, baby. Can you check ETH? What about it? What do you want to know about ETH? Check on it. Wellness check. Right now, the ETH dominance is down to 12%. And the price action on Coin360, I'll do you a quick one, is 33 hundo. So you can see Christmas colors. We're in the blood red today. Yeah, so Ether's all the way down to 3,300 today. And the dominance is down as well. But most of the market's down for that saying. So anyways. Chandy, maybe you can base it on Alice's restaurant. Walk right in around the back half of mine for the railroad track. The railroad track, that's the railroad black. Stack them sats. And Kappa Sergio El Salvador hat. Thank you, Boss33. Crypto News Alerts live. Tune in for the best crypto pod. Respect, brother. Just reposted ya. We got over 1,200 people here live and in the flesh. Keep the comments flowing. You guys are the bomb diggity. And remember, CNA fam don't play at the Bitcoin Cafe. 2.2 million in play. And Stacy confirmed, Stacy Herbert, shout out to her and the High Priest Max. There's going to be plenty Bean of Fire coffee to go around at the Max and Stacy Invitational. Got me all excited. I can't wait to taste my first cup of Joe from Bean of Fire in Bitcoin country in 2 weeks. And my daily reminder, if you guys don't have a passport, it's a pretty big deal if you ever want to be able to leave the country you reside in, especially if you're going to come visit El Salvador. It's a requirement. You can't leave the country without this baby. So get it. And that way you're capable of traveling if you ever need to, or if shit hit the fan. Probably a really good idea to apply for your passport, gentlemen. Most of you guys can probably get it within 4 to 6 weeks. You can get anything you want at the Alice restaurant. 2.2 million in the works. Amen. What up, boys? Shout out Alex Rodriguez. How was it dating J-Lo, brother? Bitcoin should fly to January 9th of 2025. Send it. Hi, you got a creature. What? A creature moving in the background. You referring to the NIP as a creature? That's how you speak about the new chairman of the SEC? This creature is replacing the current creature at the SEC as your chairman. He's getting rid of Gary, this guy. So he's more than just a creature, by the way. This is the Nipinator, for those that don't know. He gives us a Nipinator indicator. It's the only indicator in Bitcoin with 100% accuracy. The volcano effect, precisely, Chandy. Now you know what I'm saying. I'm here. The Bitcoin 120 is for the target. Before you know it, we'll be back in price discovery, family. You already know. Yeah, Alex Rodriguez dated J-Lo. Correct me if I'm wrong. J-Lo's been around the block. She's been with Diddy. Remember there was like a shooting or stabbing at like a club. J-Lo is with him, but I think one of his artists took the blame for it. The guy that sounded like Biggie. I forget all their names. His name may have been Shine or something like that. But yeah, let me know how it was dating J-Lo. It would be interesting to hear. Breaking news, Vivek Ramaswamy, Strive's asset management has filed a Strive Bitcoin bond ETF. Breaking news. Ramaswamy, let's friggin' go. I'll read that one more time. Vivek Ramaswamy's Strive asset management has filed a Strive Bitcoin bond ETF. I don't know what the difference between a traditional ETF and a bond ETF, but maybe that's his company, Strive. I've never heard of it. So, but interesting. That seems to be the big news on the timeline right now. Let's go. Exciting times, family. Exciting times. Nipsey for president. That's what I'm saying. One thing Nipsey wouldn't do is pardon SBF. But you know who will? The Biden administration. Nipinator would never allow that. Nipinator says, keep the real criminals in prison. You know what I mean? And let's free Ross. The not real criminals, they pretend to be criminals. How about those apples? Julian Assange? JV, do you think that the U.S. needs to be reserved to get the go-to for the 1 million? Or do you... Apparently, it needs to be signed by the Congress or Senate and passed there, and then the president can finally sign it. That's my understanding of how JC broke it down for me. Let me know if that's accurate. Yeah, Nipsey SEC chairman right here. He's going to replace the current creature at the SEC by the name of Gary. Hey, all bond ETFs are very much like bond mutual funds in that they hold a portfolio of the bonds and have different strategies and holding periods. That's a win. Yeah, free Ross. Dude's been behind bars for 11 years over some bullshit. Time to free that man. You feel me? But anyways, let's continue with the news. Next story of the day. Let's discuss supply shock. A very limited amount of Bitcoin to go around right now. Headline reads, Binance Bitcoin reserves hit January levels months before the biddy jumped by 90%. And then we'll dive into the feature story of the 6 Bitcoin fund set to debut in Israel next week. So yeah, Bitcoin reserves on Binance, the world's largest exchange, has dropped to levels not seen since January of this year, 2 months before the biddy price skyrocketed 90% in March. That's right. If Bitcoin follows the same pattern with the current price of 98.6, it would mean a $187,000 500 price in a matter of months. Send it. The Binance Bitcoin reserves recently dipped below 570,000 Bitcoin, the lowest level since January, according to CryptoQuant. And when the exchange reserves decline, this typically signals that the investors are moving the biddy into the cold storage and are bullish about its long-term price prospects. Binance's reserves dropped to a similar level in January. And 2 months later, March 13th, Bitcoin surged to 73 Gs, baby, marking the all-time high. And when periods of withdrawals occur, it often is a sign of the positive momentum building in the market. Now, Bitcoin dominance currently stands at 58.4%, just below the critical 60% level, and some analysts say 60% level could signal the wider rotation towards the other cryptos. August 18th, the Cryptoverse founder said he believed Bitcoin will make that final move towards 60% no later than December, which it ended up tapping just 2 months later, October 30th. Meanwhile, Bitcoin struggled to hold above the psychological level of 100 Gs since first breaking it December 4th. Get your facts straight, Cointelegraph. Bitcoin's price has been trading under 100,000 mark since December 19th after reaching a new high of 108.3, which is the current price discovery mode achieved December 17th. And according to the BitGet research analyst Ryan Lee, Bitcoin's price may exceed 105 Gs, baby, once liquidity returns after the Christmas holidays. Bitcoin's currently down on a downtrend, a typical symptom of the holiday illiquidity. Posting them here, quoting them. Post-Christmas, market activity typically picks up again, with the funds expected to actively position for the sector that might benefit from the Trump upcoming inauguration. The expected trading range for the biddy this week, 94 to 105. And there you have it, yo. And the trumpet is blown. I just replaced my 18-year-old wiper blades. Damn, that's a long lifespan for your wipers, bro. Took a while to get them out of there. Wowzers. When they start like squeaking every time you use them, like, it's time to replace them. That's a pretty long lifespan. I never heard wipers lasting that long. Yeah, I mean, so got your use out of them at least. Let's go, Ryan. Welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome, everyone joining us. 1,300 peeps here. We're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. Just replaced it. Good. How the interpretation of the ancient Hebrew word metzita has changed and can be a matter of the life and death for the baby boys. You learn something new every day. Good. Kid got the new stuff. I got to watch her open it. Awesome. Normal parent stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ray, how was your Christmas, brother? Let us know. Hopefully everyone had a fantastical time. Thoughts on the Bitcoin OS? What does the OS stand for? Is there a Bitcoin operating system for the computer I'm not familiar with? Let me know. Can sats be divided into a subunit? We'll need that once Bitcoin is 7 digits. My understanding is no. Unless things change. My understanding is one Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million sats. And by the time a sat is $1, one Bitcoin's $100 million. Now, Robert Kiyosaki says one sat will make you rich. I disagree. I think you should be more aggressive with your Bitcoin holding. Don't stop at one sat by any means, regardless of what the rich dad says. I just want to throw that out there, family. I bought a car 4 years ago. The tires are next. Yeah, I just replaced my tires. You got new tires, you're golden. That is a family-friendly show. If you keep it up, I will ban you. I don't even know what he said there, but yeah, we do try our best to keep it family-friendly for the first hour of the stream. And then when we end the YouTube stream, Rumble and X, uncensored. You know what I mean? Because YouTube is the most heavily censored platform in the world that I'm aware of, maybe besides Facebook. I'd throw them in the same category. So I got to be very careful about what I say, and I like to keep it family friendly because a lot of families watch, including, people's daughters and, children. So be careful what you say. You got to keep in mind that not only are 1,300 people watching this live, but tens of thousands of people listen to the syndicated version of the stream. So a lot of ears and eyeballs. So keep it family friendly. We respect that, especially the first hour. After, it is what it is. Bobby Digital's only 15, for Christ's sake. My youngest son wrecked his car. Damn, on Christmas, his Christmas present is helping him rebuild the front end. Wow. Well, hopefully he's okay. It could be programmed to divide into this. Yeah, that's the thing. Bitcoin is programmable money, so it's never going to be a problem. The programmers will be ahead of the curve. You got the best programmers in the world. Exactly. We keep it PG-13. Every once in a while, I may slip up, but it's never intentional. I blame it on Dankness if he's here. Shout out Dankness, by the way. Okay. Adam's only 2. See that? Shout out to the Bitcoin kids.
Your immune system and your life quality. Orange plan is plan A, B, C, D, and E. Orange skies, endless rise, freedom flies with open eyes. Ledger lines, the world aligns, no middlemen, no more confines. Truth engraved in blocks of time, immutable, sublime. A full moon bright, calling to a better path, a better way. The code is law, no.
Anyways, fam. Now for our feature story of the day. 6 Bitcoin funds are set to debut in Israel following regulatory approval next week. So let's break this down as the global hash wars continue, fam. 6 Bitcoin tracking funds are set to launch in Israel next week following the recent approval from the Israel Securities Authority. And according to the local media reports, the funds will mirror Bitcoin's price movements through various indexes and strategies that will be available for purchase at the banks and investment firms officially starting December 31st, meaning only 5 days away. Some of the new funds will track the ETFs launch in the US, such as BlackRock's iBit. One of the funds will actively manage to beat the crypto's performance. Will be actively managed to beat, that says. Let me rephrase that. And as of Christmas, yesterday, the combined market cap of all the Bitcoin ETFs is currently $143 billion. Now, that's mind-boggling because the spot ETFs did not go live in the U.S. until January 11th. So in less than a year, they have attained $143 billion of combined market cap, which is mind-boggling. It already surpassed the market cap of the ETFs in gold, and gold has been around in ETFs for 19 years. So Bitcoin just achieved in less than 1 year what took gold 19 years to achieve. And behind the funds are the mutual fund managers in Israel, which is Phoenix Investment, IBI, Kesem, Mettav, More, Ialon, and Migdal. Management fees will range from 0.25% to 1.5% to back to 0.25%. Now, the green light from the regulators was granted just weeks after 2 years of requests from asset managers. The funds will allow the local investors to get exposure to the Bitty via Israel's fiat currency, the shekel. And initially, buy and sell orders will be executed once a day, reflecting Bitcoin's price at the moment, quoting the report. For years now, as an investment house, we have been trying to join the digital currency sector. We launched a mutual fund that deals with the companies in the field, recognizing that their prices derive from changes in digital currencies, he shared. And since May, Israel has been working on the development of its central bank digital currency. Boo! We all know as the CBDCs, the digital shekel, through a new initiative called the Digital Shekel Challenge. Hilarious. The project invites participants to develop real-time payment systems using digital shekels, with the Bank of Israel providing a sandbox environment for the testing. One of the Israel's key goals with the CBDC project is to enhance competition with the local banks. While there is a public support for the project, concerns over privacy has been raised in the country. Yeah, here's the thing. Just say no to CBDCs. It's ultimately digital fiat, and it's programmable by the central bankers. Definitely not a good look. Trump promises to never allow CBDCs in the United States, but I believe it's a part of the agenda, and they're eventually going to do it. But You shall not participate in it. And that's why we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the antidote to the central bank digital currencies, and it's the polar opposite. Everything Bitcoin stands for, CBDCs does the opposite of. CBDCs is controlled by the state. Bitcoin separates money from the state. CBDCs, obviously, they're heavily controlled. They can be programmed by forces of evil and the lizard folk. Bitcoin, it's immutable. Nobody can change it. There's a finite limited supply. CBDC, digital shekel, digital whatever, dollars, etc. They can print infinity. You know what I mean? Just like the Ethereum max supply is the infinity sign. The same thing with the CBDCs. So just say no to CBDCs. Just say yes to the Biddy. And that's it. And welcome everyone to the live stream. This is the Q&A segment of the podcast. I'm going to be reading the comments out loud, doing my best to do so. I love gold, but in my Rolex, JB. I love gold, but in my Rolex, are you trying to flex and say you got a gold Rolex? Milli Satoshis exist. One of my best moves ever is I traded my gold Rolex Daytona, brand new. It's like 40 G's. A used Rolex. You can buy it and try to sell it months later. You're only getting 50% of the value. But anyways, I got roughly 20,000 worth of Bitcoin for it right before I moved to Puerto Rico, and 2.5 Bitcoin at today's price. What's that worth? What was that 250 G's, baby? So I much rather have the 2.5 Bitcoin today, versus that gold Rolex, which would still only be worth 20,000 used value. So if you guys have the opportunity to trade assets or sell shit for the best performing crypto asset of all time, the best performing commodity of all time, not going to be a bad idea to do so, family, especially if you're in it for the long haul. What does the fiat look like? Exactly, Steven. Shit out Lock Sky, Far Art Channel. Let's bump it up. Best trade ever. Yeah. Also, I got rid of the Porsche. That car was 80 G's. Trade everything for the Bitcoin. Anything you can, at least. Small car, 4 tires, says Ray. Right on. Italian cars are the fiat. Yeah, that's right. They're made in Italy. And I saw firsthand when I visited Italy, a very popular car there because there's very limited space. Kind of like here in Puerto Rico. There's like too many cars, not enough parking. So the little cars reign supreme. Steve Kingston, take a look in your toilet, and that's what it looks like. Right on. So here's what we're going to do, fam. Welcome to the Q&A segment of the live stream. We're still live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. I'm going to end the YouTube stream, and we'll do an uncensored extended version of the pod exclusive on Rumble and X. So if you're watching the stream right now on YouTube, you had to head on over to the Rumble to continue, or head on over to X because the YouTube transmission is about to end. The direct Rumble link, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. See you there. And the stream should be ending on